host and provided some food in the back over where the red tablecloth is in the back. So please help yourself. Thank you.
Courtney, you go with the live stream? All right, great. One last public service announcement. If you intend to give public comment tonight, there are blank comment cards out on the table out front, and you can return a filled out comment card to me over here in the corner. Thank you.
No one is sitting. No one's sitting next to Lily.
Chair, when you're ready, you have more support.
Okay, thank you. Ready? All right, good evening, everyone. It's 6:38, and this is the San Francisco Democratic County Central Committee meeting for Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. We are at SEIU Local 87, 240 Golden Gate Avenue in San Francisco. Woo! So as part of our Dems on the Move initiative, we are moving our monthly meeting from neighborhood to neighborhood. And this month, we are exploring the Tenderloin and all of its wonderful things. I'm sure we will have updates from Director Coles on those issues and the events that we've had. We also are having a live translation into Spanish, and that's being run by Courtney, Courtney Sid, one of our SFDem staff, who has mastered now the art of simultaneous AI translation. Last night he was doing AI translation in 2 different languages, Spanish and Arabic, for one of our events. But let's get on with the show. My name is Nancy Tung. I'm the chair of the San Francisco Democratic Party. I'm calling this meeting to order. Director Chen, would you call the roll?
Call to order at 6:38 p.m. by Chair Tung. Roll call. Akbar. Akbar present. Alioto Pier. Alioto Pier present. Arce. Arce present. Avalos. Avalos present. Calamucci. Calamucci present. Chan, I believe is absent. Chandler, I also believe is absent. Chen, myself is here. Coles. Coles present. Dorsey. Dorsey present. Galata is anticipated. Gupta. Gupta present. Hare is absent. Ho. Ho is present. Kim. Kim present. Kingsbury. Kingsbury present. Lai. Lai present. Mahmoud is absent. Mar. Mar present. Win. Win present. Philhauer.
Here.
Philhauer present. Senjirardi. Senjirardi present. Two. Two present. Chair Tung.
Here.
Present. Ex officios. Pelosi.
Here by proxy.
Proxy McCoy. Mullen.
I think it's absent.
Mullen absent. Kounalakis.
Expected.
Kounalakis expected. Ma. Present. Is that Boileau? Okay, thank you. Cohen. Proxy Weisinger. Yes. Wiener. Proxy Barrientos. Haney. Proxy Gallardo. Stephanie. Proxy Falzone. Chair Tung, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. So we're moving on to the approval of the meeting agenda, which is item number 2. Are there any additional amendments to the agenda? Not seeing any. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Motion by Member Lai, Director Lai. Second? Second by Member Alioto Pier. Can we take this without objection? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Item number 3, approval of meeting minutes. These are the minutes from August 27, 2025. Are there any amendments to the minutes? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the 27th of August meeting? Moved by Vice Chair Philhauer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Member San Girardi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Thank you. And now we move on to item number 4, which is a presentation from SEIU Local 87. Olga Miranda, would you like to come forward as our host?
Welcome, Democrats. My name is Olga Miranda, me llamo Olga Miranda, soy la presidenta de SEIU Local 87 y les queremos dar la bienvenida aquí a la casa de ustedes y de otros trabajadores. Este edificio fue construido ladrillo por ladrillo por manos trabajadoras y también el próximo mes cumple este local 89 años. Esperamos en Dios todavía estar aquí el próximo año para que celebren con nosotros. My name is Olga Miranda. I'm the president of SEIU Local 87. Welcome to your home, our home of historically always a predominantly immigrant local. We are very proud that our entire union, we work in 4 languages, English, Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic. To my left is our Vice President, Abdul Hadwan. He's the highest ranking Yemeni American in San Francisco. To my right is our Secretary Treasurer, one of 2 highest ranking Chinese American women in labor in San Francisco, Ying Shan Mei. And I want to be able to share with all of you, this building was built by union labor, right? And this is the home of many immigrants that have gone on to realize their American dream and that are living a nightmare right now. But we live every day, and this hall is filled with hundreds of families that have been able to get their first holiday Christmas toys for their kids. We're very proud about the city we live in and work in, and we're especially proud to be hosting all of you. We can't take democracy for granted, and we humbly ask that you please behave in the House of Labor. What do I mean by that? That the rules of engagement, that we all respect each other, and that while we understand there's fights to take on, it serves no one when we're fighting with each other. And I just want to be able to tell you all, in this house, we expect the Democratic Party, all of you who shoulder our democracy on yourselves, right? Our democracy is not anything delicate. And because it's so fragile right now, we ask you to please, in our house, behave like the warriors that you are for all of us, not for some of us, for all of us. And with that you continue to lead, and welcome to our humble home. Thank you very much. Muchísimas gracias. Le pedimos al partido que se comporten a la altura de lo que es el partido y la democracia tan frágil que es necesaria defenderla y que todos ellos cargan sobre sus hombros. So thank you guys so much. Welcome.
Thank you very much to SEIU Local 87 for being our host tonight. And again, if you haven't had something to eat, please feel free to get up and grab something while the meeting is going on. Hopefully no popcorn tonight. Nothing popcorn worthy. All right, so agenda item number 5 is general public comment. It looks, how many comment cards do we have, Executive Director? 4. All right, so you will get 2 minutes each, unless you are invoking an associate member status or president status of a Charter Democratic Club, in which you will get 4 minutes. But I say this whenever we take the show on the, I have been saying this preface to public comment since we passed our new code of conduct last year. And it really is to echo what Sister Olga has said about behaving yourself, not just because we should be behaving ourselves as Democrats, but also because we are guests in a House of Labor. And so that means respectful dialogue and making sure that when you disagree with someone, that you are respectful, that you are not saying things that would intimidate or harass people, that you're not discriminating based on anyone's race, gender, orientation, or otherwise. And if you create a hostile environment, we will ask you to leave. And Olga definitely will ask you to leave. So thank you very much for keeping that in mind. And with that, Executive Director, please go ahead and initiate public comment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If you would like to make a public comment tonight, please fill out a comment card available over at the table out by the front where the agenda is and some of the other signups for future events are. You can return that card over to me in this tray, and I already have a few filled out. I will call speakers in the order that I received comment cards. And please note, this body takes all public comment during this item. Each member of the public will have 2 minutes, as the chair said, to address this committee. Associate members, including club presidents or chairs, members of Democratic State Central Committee, Assembly District chairs, and regional directors will have double the time, or 4 minutes, to address this committee. I will keep time with my phone, which I totally have. And I will hold up a page that says 30 seconds when you have 30 seconds left, and time when your time is up. So keep an eye on me. I'm over here in this corner. Thank you. With that, I appreciate your patience in advance, and let's get started. So, done. That's it. Beautiful. All right. The first 4 commenters I have are Ernesto Cuellar, John Ma, Susan Pfeiffer, and Arthur Craig. Ernesto.
Hi, members of our Democratic Party.
Oh, Mike.
My name
Sir,
is.
click
Turn it
the-
on.
Hello. Okay, perfect.
Are you invoking any extended time?
2 minutes is okay. So no worries. Hi, members of the Democratic Party. My name is Ernesto Cuellar. I am one of your co-president of your San Francisco Young Democrats. So just here to tell you a little bit about the work that we're embarking on. So as you know, being a young person in the United States has become a lot more difficult. College students are graduating to the worst economy we've had in so long. And even though that's the case, young people are still gravitating towards right-wing people who have answers from them. The first person that goes to them sometimes is certain organizations that have not had the best interests of them in mind. So something we're doing as San Francisco Young Democrats, we've been embarking in college tours. We've been going to classes. We've been registering people to vote. We've been tabling. And we're looking to expand to SF State with a new club there. So we're really putting a lot of effort to bring college students in there. Thank you. And to my members, not just me, my members, everyone on my board. But the reason I bring it is because we are going to need a lot more help. And that also means resources. So I want you all and your different capacities to be prepared to have asks from us so that we can continue this work, because it's important. And we are the ones doing the work out there in college campuses for us, for you, for the Democratic Party. So thank you, and expect an email from us.
Thank you, Chair Cuellar. I'll make a mental note.
Thank you for your comment. Up next, John Ma.
Good evening. My name is John Ma. I'm a past president of the San Francisco Marin Medical Society. I applaud the resolution by members Chen and Tung regarding vaccinations and urge your aye vote later tonight. Edward Jenner created the world's first successful vaccine in 1796 after discovering that people who were infected with cowpox were immune to smallpox. Historians believe that similar practices dated back to as early as 200 BC. Both Napoleon Bonaparte and Thomas Jefferson endorsed Jenner's vaccine. Rabies and diphtheria vaccines followed in the late 1800s. The 1938 Nobel Prize was awarded for the yellow fever vaccine. The first flu vaccine followed in 1945 by Jonas Salk, who also introduced the polio vaccine in 1952. Hepatitis, measles, and a total of nearly 20 other vaccines followed, reducing childhood deaths by over 50% in the last 30 years alone. In June of 2025, the American Medical Association joined 100 professional organizations to decry the action by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to remove the 17 members of the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, also known as ACIP. The American Medical Association was concerned that with an ongoing measles outbreak and routine childhood vaccination rates declining, that this would further fuel the spread of vaccine-related illnesses. The response by the White House in August was to kick the AMA off ACIP advisory groups. We're grateful in California that Governor Newsom signed AB 144 last week, which was landmark legislation championed by the California Medical Association to safeguard access to vaccines in our state. This coincided with the release of the first coordinated vaccine guidance from the West Coast Health Alliance, a coalition of California, Oregon, Washington, and Hawaii to keep public health decisions rooted in science. So in these turbulent times, it's important for our elected leaders to stand with the medical community in supporting evidence-based therapies and vaccinations. We're grateful to members Chen and Tung for their leadership, and I urge your aye vote later tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Up next, I have Susan Pfeiffer.
This was actually set up for me.
We could get you a soapbox to stand on.
Yeah, I don't need to stand on a stool this time. Hi, everyone. Susan Pfeiffer, ex officio member, just activist. Couple things I want to talk about tonight. First is Proposition 50, and I want to thank everyone for being active on that. I love seeing the little form up here. If you didn't get one, do sign up for a canvas or a phone bank. This is a critical election. And Henny was laughing at me in the car coming over here. She has not seen me this enthused and excited and happy about something since November a year ago. I was in the dumps. This has revived me because this is something we can do. We can take control. We can take charge, but we have to make sure people vote for it. I've been phone banking about 5 or 6 times a week because there's phone banks almost every day except Friday. So I jump on them. It's really easy with Scale to Win. We're getting a little bit more difficult now because we're getting to more of the hard to gets. I had a few more hangups. But the important thing are people that are not sure, we're explaining to them what it is and that it's temporary. That's the biggest obstacle we're hearing, that people think that it's going to be permanent. And once we explain it, they say yes on it. And if you all know who Simon Rosenberg is, I was on his Zoom tonight. And on the chat, people from all over the country are doing this. My sister's teachers union in Boston is phone banking for Prop 50. So knock on doors and make calls. And lastly, I want to applaud the Young Democrats, Ernesto and his group. They're out doing voter registration, which is critical right now. But I would like them to have a palm card or something with a QR code so they can do it on their phones. I have been working with Courtney on this for a long time. I'm not blaming anyone, but he's got all the material and all the information and you don't have it. You don't even have signage with a QR code. Students want to register on their phones. So if we could just expedite that a little bit, I think it would be more efficient. I love that you're doing it, so I'm not criticizing. Thanks.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you for your comment. And up next, I have Arthur Craig.
Okay, that's good work. So good evening, Chair Tung and members of the San Francisco Democratic County Central Committee. My name is Arthur Craig, and I'm here tonight to give comments on the rechartering of the D2 Democratic Club. I'm not a native San Franciscan, but I married one, so I'm here to stay. When we moved back home to the marina with our sons, we knew exactly where we wanted to be and where we wanted to build our lives. We love our neighborhood and we love this city. And now more than ever, we need to protect this place. And that begins by organizing. I believe that one of the best ways to achieve this is through building a vibrant, strong Democratic club that represents the neighborhoods of D2. With help of the membership I'm speaking on behalf of, we've reinvigorated the club. We've increased membership, held events, and most importantly, we've listened to our neighbors about the things that they really care about. And that's a safe, strong, thriving San Francisco. In rechartering the D2 Democratic Club, our goal is to represent the interests of our neighbors partner with the Central Committee, and to continue to grow our party and strengthen our community. On behalf of our membership, I thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. If anybody else wishes to give public comment, the time to give me a comment card is now, because I'm out. Seeing none, Madam Chair, that is it.
Thank you, Executive
That's it.
Director. Moving on to item number 6, which is reports from the party. My report is short. Continue to work on a whole host of things that you will hear about. I do just want to specifically thank SEIU again, Local 87, for hosting us here tonight, and thank President Olga Miranda and your team for all the work that you all do to support labor. One of the very first things that we did when we were sworn in this now almost a year and a half ago was to say there is no Democratic Party without organized labor. It's definitely something that we all still believe, and that organized labor is always going to be part of us. And so we want to continue to support that relationship and grow and strengthen that relationship. And as a Teamster myself, I'm happy. I feel at home. Thank you. Also, I want to acknowledge and thank organized labor for supporting and providing incredible support to the Prop 50 efforts that are happening, not just in San Francisco, but across the state. We are also having a panel on Prop 50 on Thursday, October 2nd at UC Law, just a couple blocks down from here. And we will have a panel discussing the need for Prop 50 and what it looks like and how we got here. Anyway, moving on next down the line for committee reports. I believe Member Nguyen, you have an item on club relations and chartering.
Yes, thank you, Chair Tung. The club's chartering committee received the application from the District 2 Democratic Club. Executive Director Esfandiari has helped us review the necessary components of the application, and we have deemed it complete and ready for consideration by this body. Is there a motion to?
Oh, so maybe that's my line. Is there a motion? Any discussion about the D2 Dems? Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, we'll wait for that item then. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's see. Director Coles, you have an update for external operations?
All right, we've already heard a lot about Prop 50, so I am not really going to focus on the events associated with Prop 50. I'm here to be the Prop 50 cheerleader, and I want to rile you all up. 41 days until Election Day, and I know that sounds like a lot. So if you don't have heartburn, I want to give you another number. 12 days. 12 days till the ballots are mailed. We have a lot of work to do. So you heard from Susan. We are partnering on phone banking every Tuesday and Saturday. We also are partnering with Swing Left to do in-person door knocking every Saturday and Sunday in San Francisco. And we need super volunteers from this body. So I want to first thank Member Galata, Member Kingsbury for volunteering to be a super volunteer. That means you take on one or two of these events, you pick a date, and we are going to promote you, and you are going to promote yourself to your network, and you're going to turn out hundreds of volunteers, Eric. And also Member Chan volunteered. to be a super volunteer for one of these events. So I'd like to make a challenge and invite all of you to pick one date between now and Election Day to leverage your network and get the volunteers out. And now I want to turn it over to Member Arth to talk about one specific volunteer event for Prop 50.
Thank you. Thank you, Member Coles. I think has been said by a number of speakers and members, there's all hands on deck to pass Prop 50 to put up a firewall for our democracy out here on the West Coast and fight fire with fire. And so this Saturday is an example where there's lots of ways to plug in. The San Francisco Labor Council is launching mobilizations every Saturday at 10 from SEIU 10 to 1, 350 Rhode Island. Every Saturday at 10. I went last week. They got a great operation with targeting through PDI, and they'll be back again on 10 a.m. We have another mobilization at 9 a.m. same day, which is going to have a lit drop. We've got a number of laborers union members who don't speak English and who are new to our union that we're going to send out to do lit drop with other unions that want to just go do drops in targeted areas, and Swing Left is going to join and do other targeting in coordination with the Labor Council to get just a variety of coverage on Saturday. So that's Dem clubs, unions, other folks. I'll promote that event as well. That's at the Laborers Union, Local 261, this Saturday at 9 a.m. And we'll have a nice kickoff with some of our friends and electeds and others there, plus coffee and donuts to get the day going. So it's up here if you want to take a picture or grab a flyer. I've got about 20. Thank you, Member Coles. I'll put them up there actually in case folks want to take one. If you take the last one, or you're prepared to take the last one, I would respectfully ask instead to take a picture, to leave it for the next person to similarly take a picture. Thanks.
Okay. Oh, Member Coles, Director Coles, did you want to give an update on Dems on the Move for this month, since it's your neighborhood?
Yes, thank you. We have had a fantastic time in the Tenderloin this month. We have been very busy. Supervisor Mahmoud hosted a tour this past weekend, and it was extremely well attended. Last night, we hosted a panel on raising resilient youth in the face of public drug use at the Salvation Army, where we had about 45 people who attended. Coming up, we have on Friday, we are going to see an immersive play about the Compton's cafeteria. We have 4 people going, and we would love to have more people go with us. So buy your ticket and let us know if you would like to join us. And then closing it out on Saturday, we have a coffee with DCCC members. It's going to be myself and Member Galata and also Member Mahmoud. So really, we've had a great time in the Tenderloin. We've heard a lot from the residents of the Tenderloin, and I think Dems on the Move has been wildly successful. So really appreciate everyone's support.
Thank you, Director Coles. And if you haven't been, members, if you haven't been to one of the community coffees, it's great fun. People come out, they really do want to talk to members of the party and just talk about issues in their neighborhoods, what they think about city life. And it's a great way to connect with people on a one-to-one level. So I encourage everyone to attend. Member San Girardi, would you like to give an update on the gala? Oh.
I would. Thank you, Chair Tong. We are just a month away, just under a month away from the 2025 San Francisco Democratic Party Gala. It's going to be Thursday, October 23rd at Bimbo's in North Beach. I hope everyone will join us. This year's theme is celebrating our city's champions of change. We've announced 2 honorees thus far. We're very proud to be honoring Mayor Daniel Lurie, as well as Mothers Against Drug Overdoses and Deaths. We'll be announcing 2 more honorees in the coming weeks, so I know that all of you will be waiting anxiously to see who they might be. Make sure you open the emails that our wonderful executive director has been writing and sending out to our membership. I do want to note, I'm very proud that with the help of our gala committee this year, we have already secured 28 sponsorships for this year's gala. I do want to give a couple thank yous, including to a couple people tonight who just committed to joining us, including the beautiful Henny Kelly, who will be joining us on the 23rd. The wonderfully notorious Matthew Rothschild, who you might have seen in Vice President Harris's new book that just came out, 107 Days. And our most recent sponsor, Supervisor Matt Dorsey. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, everyone.
I want to give a quick shout out to our gala committee this year. That's been Chair Tung, Vice Chair Marjan Philauer, and a former member of this body and Associate Member Carrie Barnes, my gala co-chair. They've been working very hard, and I just want to say you all have been fantastic to work with. Thank you for your help so far. I want to note, everyone who's joined us this evening, you're here because you care and you're a Democrat, I assume. You are invited to join us. We really hope that you'll join us on the 23rd. The gala is from 6 to 10 at Bimbo's in North Beach. Tickets are $200, but we have a special rate if you are a member of a chartered Democratic club. So shout out to the D2 Democrats who are about to get pretty much $75 off a ticket. We'll be verifying it on the back end, but if you are a member of a chartered Democratic club, your ticket to attend is only $100. We're really hoping that we can, for sure. We as Democratic Party clearly value our chartered Democratic clubs. We have many of them, and we want to do everything we can do to support them in growing their memberships. And we hope that this is something that will help do that. I think that's it. I think pretty much everyone here who serves on the DCCC has received some sort of formal communication from me or one of my gala committee members. I encourage you to respond to us, lest we start calling and texting you vigorously. We would love your support for the gala. That's my report. Thank you, Chair Tung.
Thank you, Member Sandrardi. Now we're going to take a pause in the agenda and welcome. You might notice some brass in the back. We're going to welcome officers from Tenderloin Station and Officer Raylene Larotte from Tenderloin Station, who will make a short presentation about what kind of things are happening in the Tenderloin and how you're working to keep us all safe. That's okay. Come up and say hi.
I'm Officer Raylene Larotte. This is my second week on the footbeat, and this particular block is my area. So if anyone needs anything, come and find me. I should be on foot. My other partner is actually getting married, so she's not here right now. But we have an amazing captain, amazing everybody. I think everyone's on board, just trying to make some changes. So I'm excited.
Good. And so, what is your impression after 2 weeks in the Tenderloin Station?
I think it's just all about talking to people, and just seeing like what they need, what do the businesses want, and we're working together, and it's going really well so far.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much for being here and stopping by.
Of course. Thank you guys.
Appreciate you guys. Okay. Back. Yes. Yes, and thank you to the people from Urban Alchemy who are helping keep the neighborhood safe. They're a force multiplier in these times when we are understaffed in terms of actually sworn police officers, and so having those ambassadors out there, eyes and ears, is good for everybody. So thank you, Urban Alchemy, for keeping us safe as well. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Next report from Regional Director Henny Kelly. You've got a lot of stuff for us, don't you?
She's taking it out of order.
All right. I was waiting to listen to you. Well, just seeing the police here who walk the neighborhoods, I only buy things in my neighborhood. I walk the streets. And this week I met all 4 people that are on the 4 blocks where we have, and they were absolutely wonderful. It was a pleasure, and one of them was on their first day, and some of the other ones were not, but they were really nice, came in and talked to people, and I thought that was a very good thing in San Francisco. Now, the other things that I have to say is that there is a what is it called? A pre-meeting before the e-board. And that is going to be tomorrow night. Now, you should have gotten all these things before you got them. The reason is my computer hates me. And I only found out about it because I put my name on each of the things so it comes back to me, and it didn't come back to me, and I had to go to the party to get it sent out. So I will get another computer, and it will be much better next time. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is a real party thing that I think is important. 8 on the back page here is a resolution opposing automated license plate readers, data misuse, and prioritizing community investments over surveillance expansion. And I want to thank you for putting this up. I want to have everybody know that our city, our county is for this. And thank you very much this time.
Thank you, Henny. All right, and we are going to go back to item number D, Executive Director's Report.
We should invest in more microphones. Hello, members. Quick summary of the activities of the last month that I will include in a written report to be attached to the minutes of this meeting later. But real quick, some of this has already been mentioned. Since we last met, we held a second 3rd Street community cleanup with Refuse and Economic Development on August 30th. We held our coffee hours in the Bayview following that other event. So that was also August 30th. That was well attended, and my understanding is folks enjoyed it. Member Arce organized with many of you and many of our partners in labor a rally for Proposition 50 on September 2nd. And then Dems on the Move in September kicked off with a day of service with City Hope, which, by the way, that was a really lovely event. I participated in that, and hand delivering groceries to people who are bound in their homes and can't get out to go pick up groceries is a humbling experience. And I encourage you all to either volunteer with City Hope, like Director Coles is with me, or with another. There's many organizations that do that work. And I look forward to leveraging, even after this initiative is over, I look forward to leveraging our ability to do more service events like that. We did the walking tour, as Director Coles mentioned, on the 20th. We did the Raising Resilient Youth event on the 23rd. We have been officially started to partner with Bay Area Coalition on the phone banks for Prop 50, and 2 of those have passed September 16th and 23rd, and we're now officially partnering with Swing Left and marketing all of their efforts. It's very plug and play. We're just trying to get as many volunteers as possible on, and that is going to be every weekend from now till the election, with the last pair on the 20th and 21st. We're also continuing to market and advertise the Bay Area Coalition phone banks to help out in Virginia with those races, as well as the Hands Off Our Healthcare phone banks with Team Pelosi. Other assorted activities that I helped with include helping project manager Courtney Sid on the Dems on the Move stuff. I helped support the External Operations Committee with all the Prop 50 stuff we've already talked about. Assisted Director Coles with she hand-delivered the message about protecting Medicaid and fighting to hold Republicans accountable for the Medicaid cuts. She hand-delivered that resolution and that message to the Health Commission of San Francisco earlier this month, and I was there to support her, record some videos we're going to push out later. supported Gala Committee, supported Clubs and Chartering Committee with stuff they've already mentioned, so I won't rehash it. And then, as usual, I did other assorted things, including supporting the Finance Committee and reviewing the filings, and supporting Chair Tong with random assigned tasks, and supporting this body as a whole with getting this meeting set up. So that's been the month. And that's my report.
Thank you very much. Executive Director. I do also want to mention that it was recently announced that our next statewide convention will be in San Francisco.
And it's going to be the better side of Moscone.
So we are going to be host city to our state party, and that is February 20th through the 22nd. This will be, I think, the time where we take endorsement votes on.
That is the endorsing one, and it is really important to have everybody there all 3, days.
Right. So just as Regional Director Henny Kelly said, mark your calendars February 20th through 22nd for our statewide convention. All the gubernatorial candidates, all of the lieutenant gubernatorial candidates, treasurer, controller, what else is up? Insurance commissioner, superintendent of education, attorney general. Did I say that twice? Everything. And then also we won't be doing endorsements for assembly or senate at that time, right?
Yeah, everything.
Oh, everything. Never mind.
And I am so sorry. That was the one thing on my little brain here that I didn't have on paper. It is going to be wonderful. And you don't even have to get a room, which is really nice. But the thing that is also important is that there will be a pre-endorsement meeting, as you know. And that will be for the assembly person and anybody who is running for anything just in California. So that is very important, and that is why you had to get all those words on all those people in your club to get together. So we will be having that, and I will be sending that message out to you so you'll have people know where to go and how to vote.
Thank you. And so that's state assembly, state senate, and congressional. Is that right?
Yeah. The pre-endorsement is really for the state, yeah, and the
Okay, and the pre-endorsement committee, the pre-endorsement meeting, is that a month before convention?
Yeah, just about.
Okay, all right. So more to come on pre-endorsement meetings. Okay, now moving on to agenda item number 8, rechartering. Member Nguyen, let me turn it over to you.
Thanks, Chair Tong. Unfortunately, Vice Chair Hare is not able to join us tonight, so I will be presenting this item on her behalf. Last month, the District 2 Democratic Club submitted an application to be rechartered by this body, and I am pleased to report that they have complied with all requirements of our chartering process, including submitting a roster of at least 20 verified registered Democrats in San Francisco, a copy of their bylaws, including a definition of a member in good standing, a commitment to abide by our sexual assault and sexual harassment policies, and an application fee, which they haven't paid. Having reviewed the application and all the materials within, Vice Chair Hare recommends that this body approve the rechartering application for the District 2 Democratic Club.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Anybody want to say anything about the D2 Dems? Eric, Member Kingsbury, do you want to say something?
All right. Well, I just want to thank the body for considering this. I am the president of the District 2 Democratic Club. So we have been active in the community. We've been re-engaging folks. And Art has actually been, Art back there who gave public comment, has been one of the driving forces behind it. So I just really want to give a shout out to him and the other board members for helping us sort of reinvigorate the club, get involved. We've been trying to do everything we can to actually go into community and meet with people and hear from them instead of telling them what we think. So I think it's important that we as the Democratic Party hear directly from our voters and hear what matters to them as opposed to telling them what matters to us. So it's been a great experience, and it's been thrilling to have new members and bring new blood on. And I just, I appreciate all of you for even considering our rechartering. So thank you.
Thank you, Member/President Kingsbury. Is there any other discussion about the rechartering of this club? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to recharter the District 2 Democratic Club? Motion by Member Alioto Pierre. Is there a second? Seconded by Member Nguyen. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any abstentions? Somebody feel like they have a conflict of interest? Okay, seeing none. Thank you and congratulations on the rechartering of the District 2 Democratic Club. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 9. This is a resolution opposing automated license plate readers data misuse and prioritizing community investments over surveillance expansion. This is an item that, as Regional Director Henny Kelly indicated, is one that I have brought forward to this body. This is a resolution almost exactly in its form as which was passed at the state party during the executive board meeting in August. And I think the most essential part of this is a reaffirmation of our party's opposition to sharing automated license plate reader data with ICE and other federal agencies. And I would also say what it doesn't say is our party's strong support of sanctuary city policies and protecting immigrant communities. And so I thought it was important to bring this forward for discussion at the local level. And I know that this body is diverse and has many different viewpoints. And I do think that there is an opportunity here to have some thoughtful discussion about this topic as well. So is there a motion to consider this item? Motion to consider the item. It's moved by Director Chen. Is there a second? And then we'll have discussion debate after. Seconded by Member Alioto Pierre. Is there any discussion about this item? Oh, Member Kingsbury.
I wanted to actually, first I wanted to, it's not on.
First turn on the mic.
No, it's on. All right. First, I wanted to thank you for bringing this forward because I think it's important that we actually have a conversation. I know that there has been, I think there was a recent report about some of this camera data actually being shared with the federal authorities, and I do think we should talk about that. But in light of your comments about the fact that we do not have anything in here about Sanctuary City, I do actually want to make a move to amend this resolution, and I have the language here to reaffirm. Can you grab one and pass it down? To reaffirm our commitment to our Sanctuary City policy. Take one and pass it down. In addition to our support of the use of technology like license plate readers. I think many of you know that I ran Proposition E in March of 2024. And what we have seen is that the use of technology by our police department has been a dramatic force multiplier. It has allowed them to solve crimes quicker, and it has allowed them to do so with fewer officers than I think any of us would like to see. And that is why I think it's important that not only we reaffirm our commitment to not sharing data with the federal government, as is the statute here in the city of San Francisco, and as is required by state law, but that we also commit to using technology thoughtfully as part of crime fighting efforts.
Thank you, Member Kingsbury. Is there any other discussion? Let me look at. I'm reading. I think everybody needs to take a minute and just read what you've proposed. But is there anyone else who would like to be recognized? Any other discussion? Member Dorsey.
Oh. Thank you. So I'm reading this so far. It looks like this is something that I'm good with the amended version. I think the issue that I have, there's a number of issues that I have with the resolution that was proposed for the 72-hour agenda. And I think a lot of this goes to what lawyers would say sometimes when they say that it assumes facts, not in evidence. As a threshold matter, I don't think driving is a civil liberty. And I think courts have not recognized a significant privacy right in driving. Automated license plate readers are important for public safety. We have speed enforcement cameras that I know many people in my district that I represent on the Board of Supervisors were supporting. To the extent there's complaints about them is that we don't have enough of them. I had one complaint from a person who at least was honest about he likes speeding. He doesn't want to get speeding tickets. But that's fine. But I think most of the people in many of the urban neighborhoods that we represent want technology because it's going to keep our increasingly dense cities safer. I think there are other areas where facts, not in evidence. I think it presents a false choice that it diverts critical resources. In fact, I would argue that the costs of not having technology that is state of the art to keep our streets safe is what is undermining our attraction to tourists and conventions and commuters and all of the things that we should be investing in. I think that has done more to hurt funding for parks, libraries, and safety net services. And I just don't think that I'm open to people disagreeing, but I don't think there is overwhelming opposition to automated license plate readers. There have been successful implementations of this. I know of a friend who actually got his stolen car back because of an automated license plate reader. So this notion, I just think this is not true, that there is some overwhelming opposition to this. I think there are advocates who are against surveillance technology, and I appreciate that. I'm for surveillance technology because I think it keeps our streets safer, and this is something that we should be doing. And but mostly I just object to the notion that driving is a civil right. This is a heavily regulated activity, and we need it to be heavily regulated in a city like San Francisco that's increasingly urban. So would not support this. Reading through this looks like something I would support.
So, Member Dorsey, we have the amendments on the table. Is there any other discussion about the amendments? Member Chan.
Thank you. I think that there's a few things about the original version. I think first and foremost that the state Democratic Party has already approved it. And in fact, up and down the states where there are other Democrats found no problem supporting that. And the resolution, as it's approved by and voted in support of by the California State Democratic Party, is really also focusing on both the expansion of the automated license plate reader and surveillance technology, and how it is actually shared with not just ICE, but really federal agencies. What we're seeing right now at this moment about data sharing and all kinds of data breach, be it Medicaid, be it even our IRS. There's a lot of information, and frankly, even just as recent as the federal government has asked for our Department of Election for our non-citizen voting data, and we rejected that request as a city. I think there's a lot of conversations should be had about, again, if we as a city and a state surveil our own residents, undocumented or documented, immigrants, as well as just citizens who were born here, all of that data itself should be protected. And I think that at this moment, though, what we also know is that it actually puts everybody at risk. It's not just immigrants, everybody is at risk because apparently they don't care, even if you're a green card holder or asylum seekers, and sometimes even natural born citizen. I think that for those that were born here, that may not look legal, also being questioned about their status. Or which is to say, I don't think that is one or the other. I'm always kind of taken aback when there's an amendment that is basically significantly amending the resolution already proposed and posted. It's not a friendly amendment. It's simply gut and amend. And it's gutting the resolution that was proposed, frankly, by Chair Tung, and also, again, approved and by the Democratic Party on the state level. I have issue with what is before us today as amendment. Only one that I think that if we could cross out federal, actually with federal authorities instead of just saying limiting immigration on its title. I don't know if, frankly, everyone is also supportive of automated license plate reader. There's actually flaws with the technology. If you cover the license plates, if you actually have a fake license plate, it's not end all be all and then truly like this silver bullet solution to make us safer. I think there's a lot of questions around that too. All which is to say, I am in support of its original version. I can accept if Chair Tung feels appropriate for this gut and amend version, but I think that it's much more than just immigration issue. It's not just about immigrants and immigrants' rights, but I think all across about our privacy rights, and then with all these data sharing and data breach, and automated license plate reader is just one of those tools allowing that data breach, but there's so much more to it, be it facial recognition and other surveillance technology. So that's where I'm at. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Chan. Anybody else? Discussion? Okay, Member Ho.
Hi, Member Chan. I mean, I appreciate the thoughtfulness around and the concerns around license plate readers. I think that these are honest conversations that need to be had around safety and privacy and how we as a party are taking a stance in protecting our immigrant communities. But to imagine that a license plate would be able to capture facial recognition or your IRS data or election data, I think it's a little far-reaching in what a photo of a license plate can do. And we've seen over and over again what license plate readers can do for the public safety. Just 2 weeks ago, there was a homicide of a father walking his kid home from school. And these license plate readers were able to catch this murder suspect 2 counties away because we had license plate readers within hours. Who knows how long it would have been it would have taken for someone to solve that awful crime. And the father died holding his 8-year-old son's hand. It was horrific. And just a few days ago, or was it yesterday, the police department was able to crack down on dirt bike gangs with license plate readers. And these are just 2 examples, 2 high-profile examples of what has happened, what our city has been able to do around public safety with license plate readers in the last week. And I think all of us personally have some form of a story, whether ourselves or someone else, where we wish there was license plate readers that would have been able to solve a crime or prevent a crime. And I was also on the committee on Proposition E as well last year that allowed the city to purchase technology to help our police force fight crime. As you know, we are still understaffed in the police department by hundreds of officers. I also want to remind you, Supervisor Chan, that you supported and demanded license plate readers in your district. So
Happy to respond to that.
Sure.
I think what you're actually really mistaken. What I hope that you actually read the resolution, both originally posted, but also what actually Member Kingsbury has. Well, then you should know that the resolution is opposing data sharing. It's not opposing the technology itself. I concur with you that I supported the technology of use, but what I am actually saying in supportive, and I think that is actually what the resolution before you today, both in different version, but actually both are saying what we are opposing is data sharing, not with the federal authorities, not banning the technology. So simply to say that somehow that I am actually against the use of it is a lie. What I am against is the data sharing with, again, federal authorities. It was very straightforward in the previous version as well as what's before you. So let's actually make sure that you get your facts straight before you make those accusations.
Well, then facts, let's go. Supervisor Chan, it's already illegal for the state of California to share data with federal agencies. It's already something that doesn't happen.
Oh, okay. I'm going to ask for point of order or order in the meeting. Order in the meeting. Okay. So thank you both for reflecting your views on this. Is there any other discussion on this issue? To Member Nguyen.
Thanks for your tongue. I just want to reiterate the nature of the amendment that I'm seeing before me on this piece of paper versus what was put on the 3-day agenda or 72-hour agenda. Specifically, the second whereas clause, whereas the continued investment in automated license plate readers diverts critical resources away from essential community programs such as parks, libraries, and safety net services that foster healthy, thriving neighborhoods. That was completely removed in this proposed amendment and in the second further resolve clause around similarly extended labor hours, public park maintenance, recreational opportunities, hygiene infrastructure, emergency response services. Those are all kind of also removed from this second further resolve clause. And I guess my question is to Member Kingsbury, who presents this amended, why, I guess, what's your reasoning behind removing those clauses around the infrastructure? I'm just curious about that.
Member Kingsbury.
Yep. So you'll notice that I did leave in there lines about community programs and services, which I felt were all encompassing of those programs instead of specifically calling them out.
Where?
In the second resolved clause, that the San Francisco Democratic Party supports investment in community programs and services that build public trust and safety. I felt that that was all inclusive of all of those programs.
Yeah, thank you, Member Kingsbury, for pointing that out. I'm curious though, because the critical resources around these specific community programs such as parks, libraries, public safety, net services that support the healthy and thriving neighborhoods, that's kind of the core argument, I think, of the original resolution as was published in the 3-day agenda. And I understand that Member Dorsey mentioned around this, had issue with the overwhelming opposition to ALRPs, ALPR, sorry about that. And I'm curious if you'd be willing to put back those languages around the resources being not diverted away, but or at least changed to these automated license plate readers, at least to state the facts that at least was proposed in the original resolution.
I would need to see specific language, but I don't think that we need to choose between utilizing technology and investing in our communities.
All right. Well, I guess then I would be also in opposition to this amendment then, as it is.
Member Sangarelli.
I just want to comment. This resolution is not about whether or not we're going to have this technology used or not. It's about how the information gathered with this technology is used. And my default, and I spoke with Chair Tung about this earlier today, when I think about what power to give the government, and I have to if I have to err one side or the other, I'm going to distrust the government. And in this day and age, with this federal administration, I absolutely distrust the federal administration, and I will support anything that keeps them from having more power over citizens, immigrants, undocumented folks, and that is what this resolution calls on, which is why even though I might be aggressively in support of privacy and keeping us from collecting most kinds of information about people and sharing it with the government, I will be supporting this resolution. Thank you. Next. Resolution.
Sorry. Member Kim.
Thank you. My question for the authors is, why is this before us when the state party has already passed a resolution? Are we passing something that differentiates us from the state party? Because I see here that they have a resolution similar to what Chair Tung has introduced, and in there specifically is language that continued investment in the license plate readers diverts critical resources away from essential community programs, such as parks, libraries, and safety net services that foster healthy and thriving neighborhoods. And then it has it be it further resolved that the California Democratic Party supports prioritizing investments in community-based programs such as extending library hours, public park maintenance, recreational opportunities, hygiene infrastructure, and emergency response services. So what is the purpose of us passing this here locally? Is it to differentiate ourselves from the state party? Because I support our current state party position, and I don't see a need for either us to reaffirm that or to differentiate ourselves from the state party.
So thank you, Member Kim. I'll go ahead and answer that one since I brought this forward. And as I said in my prefatory remarks, it was something that I thought merited some discussion at the local level as well. And I appreciate Member Kingsbury's thoughtful amendments. I do think that the addition of very clearly stating our policies, our support of not just the state's sanctuary city policies, which is not mentioned at all in the state party resolution, but also our own sanctuary city policies that were from Member Alioto Pierre's mother when she was aunt. I'm sorry, aunt at the when she's that was visionary because of when then Supervisor Angela Alioto. Sorry, that's a lot of A's. Visionary, first of its kind, first in the nation, and has been a bedrock and principle of San Francisco's values for the decades that followed. So I do accept the amendments proposed by Member Kingsbury. I also do accept the amendment proposed by Member Chan to delete from the title immigration. So the resolution will read as amended, resolution opposing automated license plate readers data sharing with federal authorities, which does mirror the language in the now amended resolution. So I will accept that. Is Member Alioto Pierre?
Just one comment. In the original version, and I believe in the state version that Member Kim just read from, the continued investment in automated license plate readers diverts critical resources away from essential community programs such as parks, libraries, etc. To be honest, to me that's a bit of a, I don't know if a red herring is the right word, but I don't believe it. You know, we're talking about a giant state budget. If we're very specifically saying that automated license plate readers are going to divert these resources, that this very specific thing is going to take money away from parks and libraries and services that we need, then prove it. Because there are a lot of things that go into a state budget. There are going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of movement. And so frankly, I think that the amendments are better because I don't really believe the premise in the first one that automated license plate readers will divert very specific money away from these very projects. How do we know it's not diverting money away from something else? So I do think that is a statement that goes a little bit above and beyond. And for that reason, I will be supporting the amendment. And I do like the fact that we are reiterating that this is information that we're not going to share with the federal government. Going back to what Member Sangerardi, I'm mispronouncing your name. Okay. What Member Sangerardi said, I agree with that statement as well. So I just wanted to point that out because it just doesn't read true that it diverts money, that this one program diverts money away from services that we need. California will figure out a way to put money and invest into parks and libraries, whether or not we have this program or not.
Yes, Member Kim, you wanted to refocus your prior comments?
Yeah, I still just wanted to understand what the purpose of us passing a similar but different resolution at the local level is. Is this something we're presenting to the state party as a proposal in February? Is this moving us along some sort of process in terms of differentiating San Francisco's position from the state party?
I mean, I think that we are able to take positions that are different, excuse me, from the state, that are stronger and more nuanced than the state party. And like I said, I brought this because I thought the issue was important for us to discuss. And I do think that the amendments or the resolution as now amended is a more thoughtful document about how we can rely on ALPRs at the local level with our police departments, and also speak very strongly against sharing that data with any federal agencies. And again, like to reiterate Member Ho's comments about how these the ALPR data has been used in San Francisco, and the comments of Mayor Lurie regarding the drop in crime that is attributed to the use of the ALPRs. I know that in my work as a prosecutor, I have seen it as well, how crimes that might otherwise go unsolved or unsolved for many months or at all, now that has changed because of the use of this investigative tool. So, all right, we are going to close debate at this point and move to a vote. Director, I'm sorry. Okay, Member Avalos.
Thank you. And actually, I appreciate the lifting up of our sanctuary policy, and I think it's important that we understand like how difficult it was to create the sanctuary policy to begin with by Angela Alioto when she was supervisor. But there were also 3 other times when I was in office, and probably even before I was in office, where we had to actually update the sanctuary policy. And I usually am not one to tout, the work that, we've done in my time, but I think it's really important to understand just how challenging it was and what communities of color, immigrant communities, especially the Latinx community, was facing in the times we had to update our sanctuary policy. We had a commitment that had been made by Gavin Newsom in March of 2008, where he was going to uphold our sanctuary policy and he was going to stand by it. And he brought the community together all across our immigrant community in San Francisco in March on the steps of City Hall. I was there. And then months later, he actually started to undermine it. And then we had to really have a really strong community effort to actually build the power to actually get City Hall to change it. And it was changed in 2009 based on, and that was done by David Campos, working with a lot of people in the community to make that happen. Those are really challenging things to do. And it was really, we were facing a veto from Gavin Newsom actually on our sanctuary policy. And this history is like super important. So then years later, in 2013, through a community outside-in process at City Hall, we updated the sanctuary policy again. And we did that because under the Obama administration, there were millions of people who were actually being rounded up and deported. And the administration was asking our jails, our county jails across the country to hold people past the release date so that they could be picked up by ICE. ICE is a federal agency that is not about criminal justice. It's about, civil law. And so we actually had to update our law so we can prevent that from happening in San Francisco. The law that we passed, called the Due Process for All Ordinance in 2013, was a model that was adopted by San Jose, by Chicago, and then hundreds of counties across the country. That is under attack. But that was already under attack in 2015 after Kate Steinle was accidentally killed walking along our pier in San Francisco. And our sanctuary policy, according to what the federal government was now saying, they actually wanted to change the law. So we had to update our sanctuary policy, our Due Process for All Ordinance, and our sanctuary policy to make sure that we could actually have no loopholes that could be exploited for ICE to actually pick up people. So that second time, we were facing an onslaught of the media from around the country was focused on San Francisco. We had Breitbart News in the board chamber there to monitor a vote. They were harassing people who were in the audience there to testify. And we managed to pass it. And it was a really challenging thing. In 2015, when we were under attack for having a sanctuary policy, the house I used to live in had cars torched in the house that I lived in, that I moved from. They didn't know I'd moved. They torched the cars in front of it. Every supervisor, and we voted unanimously on that measure in 2013. Every supervisor in 2015 was harassed by Fox News because they voted for our sanctuary policy. This is not to be taken lightly. I really appreciate Member Kingsbury, you bringing this forward. I think we already had a resolution that was supporting our sanctuary policy, but I think we should be really invoking it again with what's happening and what we're facing, and $170 billion of federal money that's going to go for Homeland Security, 40 billion of that paying for ICE agents with masks who are going to be on our streets. So thank you for doing that. I think we should take out the language around federal immigration and just make it federal authorities. I don't, like many of you, I don't trust the federal government, especially when anyone who is opposed to fascism now is actually now could be prosecuted and persecuted in this country. So
Here.
thank you, and I really appreciate
Your comments, Member Avalos. All right, members. Director Chen, could we have a roll call vote? Oh, we have to move to vote? Members, can we vote on this motion? Moved by Member Kingsbury as amended. This resolution, second by Member Ho. Director Chen, can we have a roll call vote for the resolution?
Perhaps for the benefit of the public, could we read the amended resolution into the record, as the public has not yet seen the amended resolution?
Okay.
If the amender could recite it.
No, I will recite it as accepted. This is a resolution opposing automated license plate readers data sharing with federal authorities. Whereas San Francisco's and California's sanctuary policies, which limit aid to federal immigration authorities, keep our neighborhoods safe by building trust and cooperation between immigrant communities and our local government, including our law enforcement agencies. And whereas automated license plate readers, ALPRs, aid in public safety and help the San Francisco police solve and deter cases such as auto theft, missing children, and murder. And whereas the sharing of ALPR data with federal and out-of-state agencies is illegal under SB 34, passed in 2015, and furthermore could harm immigrants at risk of detention and deportation by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Therefore, be it resolved that the San Francisco Democratic Party reaffirms our support for San Francisco's sanctuary city policies and supports existing state law like the California Values Act, forbidding the disclosure of ALPR data with ICE and other federal agencies, and be it further resolved that the San Francisco Democratic Party supports investments in community programs and services that build public trust and safety alongside careful oversight of surveillance technologies to ensure they are operated in accordance with state and local law.
My assumption is we will have two motions, one motion to amend and then to do the vote on the amendment, and then one motion to, should the amended version or amended amendments pass, and then you vote on the amended version.
So I've accepted the amendments. Yes.
Oh, you consider that as a friendly amendment?
Yes.
Instead of got an amendment? Okay.
Yeah. I do. Director Chen, as amended, could you call the roll?
This is item 10, a motion moved by, I believe, Kingsbury to approve the amended resolution. Is that correct? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I delete a number? Okay, I'm sorry, item 8. Sorry, this is item 8. I believe it was moved by Kingsbury, the motion to approve the resolution as amended, which is the sheet of paper in front of you, also deleting the word immigration in the title.
This is item number 9.
No, it's 8.
It's 8? I thought 8 was returned.
Margins might have been moved around on your draft minutes document, but it's item 8.
And I believe, so it was moved by Kingsbury and it was seconded.
By
Correct?
Member Ho.
By Member Ho. Telling the vote. Let's see. Apologies, my technology is a little slower today. Calling the roll from 2 I. Akbar. Akbar I. Alioto Pierre. Alioto Pierre I. Arce. Arce I. Avalos. Avalos I. Kalamuchi. Kalamuchi I. Chan. Chan I. Chandler's absent. Chen is I. Coles. Coles I. Dorsey. Dorsey I. Galata. Galata I. Gupta. Gupta I. Hare is absent. Ho. Ho I. Kim. Kim abstain. Lai. Lai I. Mahmood is absent. Kingsbury. Kingsbury I. Mar. Mar I. Win. Win abstain. Philhauer. Philhauer I. Sanjuardi. Sanjuardi I. Ex officios. Pelosi. Pelosi I. Mullen is absent. Kounalakis is absent. Ma. Ma abstain. Cohen. Cohen abstain. Wiener. Wiener I. Haney. Haney I. Stephanie. Stephanie I. Chair Tong.
Aye.
Tong I. Have all those who wish to vote voted? There are 20 out of 32. There are 23 members present and voting. 23 aye. There of those 23 have voted aye. 100%. 4 abstain and 5 absent. The motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think this is a really good resolution, and I would welcome any co-sponsors at this point. Member Kingsbury, thank you. And Vice Chair Philhauer. Anybody else? Moving on to agenda item number, what is it, number 9 now? This is a resolution supporting trust in scientific evidence and medical experts on vaccine policy. I will allow Director Chen to introduce this resolution.
Thank you. Sorry, I may have messed up my numbering, so I'm trying to figure out if I have the right numbers, but I can do that later. Thank you, colleagues. This resolution, I believe, is timely because, as you may have seen, and as Associate DCCC member John Ma and ADEM delegate has mentioned, these times have been very strange for public health. The Secretary of Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., fired the entire body of the vaccine recommendation, National Vaccine Recommendation Task Force, which is called ACIP, and I forget what the actual name is, and came close, almost to a tie vote, to changing the recommendations on the COVID vaccine, sort of against the recommendations of most pediatricians, doctors, and public health advocates. I thought it was timely, and I thought it was very much part of our values as Democrats to say, hey, we protect ourselves, we look at the best evidence that's out there, and we also protect each other. And that's what vaccination does. It helps us protect ourselves, our children. It helps us protect our communities. And especially, I think nowadays, these diseases, which, 10 years ago, we took for granted as being disappeared from the US, are now actually on the move. And so now we see more measles outbreaks. We see more people, we see more folks with like whooping cough. And there's a chance that, that the US and global health agencies were able to eliminate smallpox, and they've been able to limit polio to only a few countries. But there's a chance, unfortunately, that we could be backsliding, and many diseases that we took for granted as eliminated or as no longer worries for ourselves or for children are now coming back. And so I'm very thankful, and I hope that we can be very thankful to both our city Department of Public Health and also our state for being leaders, and where the federal government unfortunately is moving backwards on public health, and unfortunately will be causing statistically, the deaths of many children. That California and Washington State and Hawaii and Oregon and Massachusetts are taking the lead and saying we are going to try to follow the best evidence that we can. We're going to keep our communities safe, and that's part of our values. And so, thank you so much for your time, and I would really appreciate your support.
Thank you, Director Chen. Any? Do we have to move to consider this? Any discussion on this resolution? Seeing no discussion, we have a motion. May we have a motion to vote on this resolution? Member Alioto-Pierre first, seconded by Member Arce. Member Chen, can you call the roll?
Yes, please stand by. This is item 9. Motion moved by Alioto-Pierre to approve the resolution supporting trust in scientific evidence and medical experts on vaccine policy. The authors are Chen and Tung. Calling the roll, starting from Akbar. Akbar, aye. Alioto-Pierre. Alioto-Pierre, aye. Arce.
Aye.
Arce, aye. Avalos.
Aye.
Avalos, aye. Kalamuchi.
Aye.
Kalamuchi, aye. Chan.
Aye.
Chan, aye. Chandler is absent. Chen is aye. Coles. Coles, aye. Dorsey. Dorsey, aye. Galata. Galata, aye. Gupta. Gupta, aye. Hare is absent. Ho. Ho, aye. Kim.
Aye.
Kim, aye. Lai. Lai, aye. Mahmood is absent. Kingsbury. Kingsbury, aye. Mar. Mar, aye. Win. Win, aye. Philhauer.
Aye.
Philhauer, aye. San Girardi. San Girardi, aye. 2. 2, aye. Ex officios. Pelosi. Pelosi, aye. Mullen is absent. Kounalakis is absent. Ma. Ma, aye. Cohen. Cohen, abstain. Wiener. Wiener, aye. Haney. Haney, aye. Stephanie. Stephanie, aye. Chair Tung.
Aye.
Tung, aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? There are 26 members present and voting. Of those 26 voted aye. There are also 1 abstention and 5 absent. Chair Tung, the motion passes.
Thank you very much. Any co-sponsors for this resolution? Additional co-sponsors? Member Alioto-Pierre, Member Kim. Member Kim, did you raise your hand? No, never mind. Take that back. Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to agenda item number 10. Resolution urging a federal government shutdown to restore Medicaid coverage and protect progress on drug overdoses. Member Dorsey.
Thank you, Chair Tung. So those of you who follow some of the drama in Washington may recall that the last time we were on the precipice of a potential government shutdown over a continuing resolution or appropriation vote, the Democrats did not have consensus about what to do, and there was a lot of division within the ranks. For those of us who've been following what is coming since then, it was clear that it looks like there is going to be unity in the ranks. When the deadline was approaching for this, it was clear that Medicaid would be one of the issues that would be front and center. In the 10 days, or in the week between the 10-day agenda and the 72-hour, it became clear that the Affordable Care Act is also going to be the line in the sand on end Medicaid. I will tell you that, when it comes to objecting to something, making a demand of the Trump administration, there's probably no limit to the things that we could have grievances about, and there is it would violate the three the whereases and resolution limit, and we would have a resolution the size of a phone book. And for those of you who don't know, that was a book that was really thick back in the day. Part of the reason that I wanted to emphasize what the Medicaid cuts are going to do to people who are struggling with substance use disorder is that this is important to me personally, but it's also something that for our city that is right now on pace to have the second deadliest year for drug overdoses in San Francisco history. I felt that there is a moral dimension that we could add to this debate from the city and county of San Francisco. If Medicaid cuts come, and they have cynically been postponed until after the 2026 midterms, it is going to be devastating to people who are struggling with addiction. Close to 50% of the people who are in drug treatment with opioid use disorder are on Medicaid. This is life and death. So I felt really strongly that we had a unique perspective to bring to this as San Francisco Democrats. I want to express my appreciation to the co-sponsors, members Ho, Sangiardi, Kingsbury, Gupta, Kalamucci, Philauer, and then since the 72 resolution came out, or agenda came out with the resolution, members Chandler, Marr, Pelosi, and Controller Cohen have also signed on. I don't know if there's anybody who told me that they were co-sponsoring that. Oh, and okay. I appreciate. Well, we could just do. Anyway, I appreciate everybody's support, and if people want to come on as co-sponsors, I would appreciate that. So
Thank you very much, Member Dorsey. Is there any discussion? Yes. Member Pelosi.
Want to thank Member Dorsey for reaching out to Speaker Pelosi to discuss this item and to work on some of the language around this item. She does co-sponsor it, as some of you may know. She's been doing a little bit of work on healthcare for the last couple of decades. And, when January hit this year and after Inauguration Day, we immediately went to work on saving what we could of our healthcare, the Affordable Care Act, the PACT Act, Medicaid. She launched her Save Our Healthcare campaign, and we've been going strong with that, thanks to Ernesto and some other folks in this room. Actually, most of you that have been making calls for that. And since the budget passed, we've been working on accountability calls. And now, even as we go into Prop 50, which is the Speaker's #1 priority through November, we are making sure that everyone knows that it's not just a fight against California and Trump. It's not just, or California and Texas. It's not just a fight against Gavin Newsom and Trump. It's a fight for working families. It's a fight for your health care, for your jobs, for your Medicaid, for housing. And that's the messaging that she's been using, and she's been partnering with other folks in labor for that messaging throughout swing districts and frontline districts in California. And we'll be ramping that up. But this is, very obviously near and dear to her heart. Two topics into one, in fact. There is a serious drug crisis going on, and not just in San Francisco, but it's nationally, it's worldwide. The biggest impacts of this is, San Francisco is fortunate. We'll be impacted, but we've got a pretty robust system in San Francisco. It's a lot of the rural counties are already seeing the hospitals closing, because of that budget bill. And in some counties, that's the closest they have to treatment. And so thank you for doing this. Thank you for all the co-sponsors, and looking forward to doing what we can to hold these folks to the fire. So.
Thanks. Member Galata, would you like to be recognized? Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Chair Tung, and thank you, Member Supervisor Dorsey, for bringing this forward. And I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. I just wanted to just also add, just to also Speaker Meredith Pelosi's thoughts, his comments.
just zooming out just at what so much is at stake, and I think how many communities are impacted by HR1 and these federal budget cuts and the devastating, unprecedented cuts to Medicaid and Medi-Cal here in California. I mean, this is impacting and will impact thousands of families in San Francisco, millions across the country. But this is really specifically going to hurt low-income families, communities of color, people with disabilities, seniors, and children. And I think we need to really understand that the access to care is completely at risk. And also the systems of care that support our communities are at risk as well, whether it's mental health and substance use treatment, behavioral health services, which are so key and critical in terms of supporting folks. We know that. But also our public hospital systems that are absolutely in peril, as was mentioned. We have rural hospitals that are already closing. We have doctors, nurses, working people who are going to potentially be impacted, jobs that will be lost, care that folks will not be able to access. So I just think we just really need to really be real and I think confront what is at stake. And I think this resolution, of course, really focuses on just dealing on just some of the specific impacts, but also zooming out to understand the macro of the ripple effect that this is going to cause. As now just here in the Bay Area, as I work in Santa Clara County, Santa Clara County is facing $1 billion shortfall because we operate the largest public hospital system in Northern California, 4 hospitals, 15 health clinics, thousands of workers, nurses, and doctors that are facing potential closure and loss of those services that folks rely on. When for residents in Santa Clara County rely on Medi-Cal. So we know the impacts here in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, are going to be real. It's why Prop 50 is so important, and hopefully understand the connection there and make sure that that just is really what's fueling the fire in our belly to get Prop 50 passed. So I'd love to go out of this correspondence. I just wanted to add that just how we really are confronting this challenge. It is big, and it is rippling across this country, and moving opportunity, hopefully with some negotiation around the budget, and Democrats need to stand tall on this, and I think that is what we're asking for, and I'm glad this resolution is really calling on our folks to have backbone and not give away this vote without getting and fighting for our working people and everyone who's impacted by HR1.
Thank you, Member Galata. Member Alioto Pierre.
Okay, Supervisor Dorsey, I have a question. For starters, let me just say that I really like the resolution. I really like reading it, and I like what it has to say. This is just the little tweaky problem I have, which is it's titled Resolution Urging the Federal Government, a Federal Government Shutdown to Restore Medicaid Coverage and Protect Progress on Drug Overdoses. I get it. The problem is that the Democratic Party from San Francisco urging a federal government shutdown, these are our people at the federal government too. And a federal government shutdown is a really big deal. And it affects people that we care about. It affects our union members, it affects our, middle class workers, and that's really who's hurt here. So I guess my question is, could we say something like resolution urging a federal government shutdown or restoring Medicare coverage and protect? So that it looks like we're not saying we want you to shut. I realize I'm not an idiot, right? It's September 24th and we're talking about September 30th. I get it, 6 days. I understand what this administration's like. I know what Congress is like. I understand that this most likely will never, happen without a government shutdown. But I would just like us as a body not to look like we're saying that a government shutdown is something that we would like to have happen. I would like it to look to me. Anyway, maybe that's just the way I read it and parse out the words.
I think I may have been a step ahead of you because in the week between the 10-day agenda and the 72-hour, it was changed. I had some conversations with people, and I think the feeling was resolution supporting a federal shutdown, given that it's going to be basically the federal leaders rather than urging us?
No, right.
Yeah.
So then the word supporting, how about a resolution supporting a federal government shutdown if they do not restore Medicare coverage?
Sure.
Unless you just want to,
No, I think that would be, for clarity's sake, I would be fine with that.
I realize that we're word parsing here, but I don't want anybody to be able to say, and then there's San Francisco out there, encouraging a government shutdown, period. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. So a resolution supporting a federal government shutdown unless they restore Medicare coverage and protect progress on drug overdoses. Okay, thank you.
Member Cohen.
Thank you. And just very quickly, it was very important to Controller Cohen. And I want to thank Member Pelosi for those words from the member. It was very important to Controller Cohen how we were supporting our California Democrats who are basically going to be voting on this item. We both were able to watch the interview that VP Harris did the other day with Rachel Maddow, where she asked similar questions to actually what you asked Member Alioto-Pierre about what if someone said that we were supporting a government shutdown? And she gave similar answers to what you said as far as, talking about how we're supporting our community and why we're doing what we're doing, but also talking about the importance of saying we are not supporting a government shutdown, we're supporting the people. So I do also appreciate what you said about just making sure that the way that it's reading on paper, but that was very important to Controller Cohen, and she's very happy to be a supporter or a co-sponsor of this bill.
All right. Any other discussion on this item? Seeing none, can we have a motion to adopt this resolution?
Should I make the motion to amend the short title to resolution supporting a federal government shutdown unless Medicaid and health coverage is restored to protect progress on drug overdoses?
Okay. And as a courtesy, please provide a written copy of that amended title to Director Chen.
Okay.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Member Arce, seconded by Member Alioto-Pierre. Director Chen, could you call the roll, please?
Cycle. Okay, this is a newly titled resolution, item number 10, resolution supporting a federal shutdown unless Medicaid and health coverage is restored to protect progress on drug overdoses, if I got that wording right. The principal author of the resolution is Dorsey. The motion to approve is, the principal mover is also Dorsey. Calling the roll, starting with Alioto-Pierre. Alioto-Pierre, aye. Arce.
Aye.
Arce, aye. Avalos. Aye. Avalos, aye. Calamucci. Aye. Calamucci, aye. Chan.
Aye.
Chan, aye. Chandler is absent. Chan, myself is aye. Coles. Coles, aye. Dorsey. Dorsey, aye. Galata. Galata, aye. Gupta. Gupta, aye. Hare is absent. Ho.
That's you.
Ho is aye. Kim. Kim, aye. Lai. Lai, aye. Mahmoud is absent. Kingsbury. Kingsbury. Kingsbury, aye. Mar. Mar, aye. Win. Win, aye. Philhauer.
Aye.
Philhauer, aye. Samjirati. Samjirati, aye. Tu. Tu, aye. Akbar. Akbar, aye. Ex officios. Pelosi. Pelosi, aye. Mullen is absent. Kounalakis is absent. Ma. Ma, aye. Cohen. Cohen, aye. Wiener. Wiener, aye. Haney. Haney, aye. Stephanie. Stephanie, aye. Chair Tung.
Aye.
Tung, aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? There are 27 members present and voting. Of those, all 27 vote aye. There are also 5 people absent. Chair Tung, the motion passes.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Member Dorsey. Moving on to item number 12, new business. Any members have new business? Member Mark.
Thank you, Chair Tung. Colleagues, I just wanted to make an announcement and also, I guess, a question and a request around the upcoming No Kings Day, National Day of Action on October 18th. Yeah, actually, but before I get into that, I think we had a lot of really good discussion at today's meeting about important strategies that the party is taking to try to respond to the escalating threats of MAGA fascism that we're facing nationally and here in San Francisco. From trying to restore the devastating cuts to healthcare to challenging the really dangerous vaccine policy efforts to reaffirming our support for our sanctuary city policies here in San Francisco and statewide, and also our work on Prop 50. So these are all really important strategies that we're engaged in. But I think also what's really needed right now, we all know, is building the broadest possible mass movement that can really stand up and support all of these policies and support even bolder policies and political efforts that we're going to need. So No Kings Day is a really good opportunity for us to do that here in San Francisco and nationally. The first No Kings Day back in June was an incredibly powerful day of action. It was organized in response to Trump's birthday military parade in Washington, D.C., and progressive groups nationally and unions organized actually over 2,100 No Kings Day actions in June, involving over 5 million people. So that was incredibly powerful, and it sent a message, and it totally was able to push back on Trump's military parade in D.C. So No Kings Day 2 is coming up on October 18th. That's a National Day of Action, and again, dozens of progressive political and groups and unions nationally, have been organizing around this, including Indivisible, Move On, Working Families Party. Thank you, Jane, for all of your leadership, and a lot of key unions as well: SEIU, National Nurses United, my union, the National Union of Healthcare Workers. So October 18th is No Kings Day in San Francisco. We have 3 actions planned so far. There's at 11 a.m. out at the Ocean Beach. There's going to be human billboard action that will be incredible. This is the 3rd time that we're doing it this year. Susan Pfeiffer's been out there. And then at noon on October 18th, out on Sunset Dunes, we're going to be doing a resistance festival. That's going to be really a celebration of resistance. And I would just remind those of you that that are opposed to the full-time closure of the Great Highway, this is going to be on a Saturday. So so that's when the compromise that I worked hard to put in place, would allow important community events like this. And then at 2 p.m. on concluding the No Kings Day in San Francisco, at 2 p.m. there's going to be a massive march and rally downtown. It starts at Embarcadero and then marches to Civic Center. So it's a powerful march and rally. So I just wanted to announce that. I would encourage the Democratic Party here in San Francisco to fully support No Kings Day. Unfortunately, nationally, we're not seeing a lot of support from the Democratic Party on these types of grassroots mass efforts. But I think here in San Francisco, we, as a Democratic Party, really need to show that we stand with the people in building the mass movement. And then I also wanted to ask, I know in October, we're going to be having our Dems on the Move meeting in the Sunset District, which is great. I look forward to welcoming you guys all to my hood. And then if we can have the No Kings Day Sunset Dunes Resistance Festival be one of our promoted activities for that month. So I just wanted to, I don't know who, how
talk to Babak and Courtney, Member Marr.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, other announcements? Member Dorsey.
I don't know if it's under new business or adjournment, but since the meeting started, news crossed the wire that Belva Davis passed away at the age of 92. Belva Davis is, an icon in news, was a groundbreaking figure. I spent much of my career working with reporters, and I've talked to all of them. And I think when I finally talked to Belva Davis, I was sort of starstruck. Like this was a big deal. But really classy lady and professional, and it's just sad news. So maybe we can adjourn in remembrance of Belva Davis.
Yes. Member Pelosi. Let me just make sure that we are done with new business before we go on to adjournments. So as is agenda item number 12, we do adjourn the meeting in memoriam and also in celebration of, and Member Dorsey is asking that we adjourn in memory of Belva Davis. And Member Pelosi?
Additionally, if we could adjourn the meeting in memoriam of John Burton.
Yes.
And if I could just briefly say, I had the honor as co-chair of ALICE during our 50-year, didn't end up being a breakfast that year because of COVID, but we did a virtual thing and we had a lot of folks doing testimonials and talking about their history with ALICE. And I got to sit down with John for about an hour and interviewed him for that video. We only had about 5 minutes that was usable and appropriate. So someday we'll watch the rest of that video. But for folks, for folks that may not be aware, ALICE was founded in 1971 by Jim Foster, and a lot of that work with the founding of ALICE was because of the work that Willie Brown and Philip Burton and John Burton were doing. They realized that our community was a voting bloc, and a very positive one, and so they started doing a lot of work in the state legislature at the same time, decriminalizing a lot of things, allowing us to go into gay bars without getting arrested. Big thing. And I'll just say I will miss when I worked in Speaker Pelosi's district office. About once a month, hearing him coming down the hallway into the office to raise hell about something that was going on or something with a federal agency, and sitting down and getting to work through that with him. So he's an incredible person.
Thank you, Member Pelosi. Yes, and our special guest Matthew Rothschild would like to be recognized.
Former chair, if I could just say,
Yeah.
we have an online.
Thanks. I had the honor of representing as ex officio rep John Burton in 1988 through 91 when I got elected on my own, but I have also a family history. My mom went to Lincoln High with John Burton in the 1950s. And so I grew up as a Burton Democrat, and that's how I got started. My first precinct was walking for George Moscone because John told me to get my ass in gear and get to work. It's a high school kid. Listening here to the issues you're all talking about, boy, there's no one who worked harder for the poor, for the disabled, took on Ronald Reagan, Duke Majan, Arnold, Pete Wilson, when he was in Washington, D.C., and I clerked for him there. You just can't imagine what a liberal icon he was for years when he spoke out against the death penalty, rights for women. And also, he even suggested marriage equality long before even our leaders were for it when he got elected to the assembly in '88. He was my hero all my life. I don't know what to say other than he also taught me to look up to people in recovery, which is something that now we have, but at the time, after he had his own troubles, but he overcame them. And pick yourself up again and keep fighting, and that's really what he was all about. So I'd ask that we adjourn in honor and send a letter to Kimmy. I have her address if you need it.
Okay.
And Juan Cruz and Kella. He really is a titan when it comes to being a liberal and proud of it, and a progressive and a lion for all the things that everyone cares about here. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you.
Any other in memoriams? Member Galata.
Thank you, Jordan. I also just want to say rest in power to John Burton. And just when I was appointed to the DCCC in 2017, I was appointed to fill a vacancy that John Burton, who was elected to serve on this body, and when he stepped off of the body, then I took his seat, and I really felt like I had owed a lot to John just for that opportunity to then serve the party and be here to this day. So obviously he was a great man and statesman and representative of our party and our values. So I just want to acknowledge that. I did also want to offer an in memoriam tonight for Robert Byrd II. This was referenced his tragic death. Robert was fatally stabbed while walking with his son after picking up from school here in San Francisco just a few weeks ago on September 10th. He was a devoted father, a loving son, and a joyful presence to everyone who knew him. His greatest love was his son, who was holding his hand in the moments before this tragedy occurred. And I do acknowledge that Robert was the father of a former DCCC member, Gloria Berry's son. So I do want to just express on behalf of the party our condolences to Gloria Berry and her family and her grandson and everyone who has been impacted by this tragedy. And so just would like to adjourn in memory of Robert Byrd II.
Thank you, Member Galata. And for those of you who served on the prior term with Gloria, you know that she's a fighter, and that she, even if you have your differences with her, she is authentically herself, very much so. And I did reach out to Gloria after finding out that her son-in-law had passed and that her grandson was present. If you are interested in contributing to a GoFundMe, there are two that are circulating. One that is sponsored by the PTO of the school community where her grandson goes to school. That's at Commodore Sloat. And then another one that is organized by the family. So if you would like to contribute to either of them, please see me and I will find those links for you. So with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah. Okay.